Okay, I'm just putting out my personal experience as far as food shortages. They're certainly happening, and I'm going to ask you: is it happening in your area? Um, I live in northern Alabama. I cannot go to the store myself. I have someone go for me, but he is really good about reporting back how things are. And this is the Publix chain. If you know anything, if you live in the South, if you're familiar with Publix, my goodness, they pride themselves on keeping their shelves full, and they're they're 90% on top of it. But when the trucks stop stopping and they're not making their deliveries, what can they do about it except tell you stories? So anyway, my the person who goes shopping for me said it was full of holes, and that's why the past couple days I've actually asked him to go more than once to get as much stuff in as I can because well, we do have a storm coming. It's not shouldn't be too bad for this part of the country, but that's one reason. But no, it's the what's becoming more and more obvious that the trucks aren't making the deliveries. They're not making them on time. They're being held up for multiple reasons. If you don't have ships coming into port, both coast, and you have ships or trucks up in Canada not crossing the border, well, you're going to have shortages. That's just the reality. So stock up, and you can't get what you want. I mean, I substituted a lot of things, but food's food. So, when it comes to people going hungry, food's food. I well remember when I was temporarily homeless out in California. Food was food, and you learn how to scavenge and you learn how to survive, even if you've never done it before in your life. So I see this happening, and I see it happening on a big scale. And I don't think it'll be pretty because people in this country just aren't used to it. I look back over my life, and the Lord has prepared me in many, many ways. When you've lived under trees, when you can seek a willow tree to keep the rain off of you and sleep under a willow tree, and it does, if the branches are thick enough, and you can figure out that the dumpsters behind the expensive restaurants have the best food. Sometimes uneaten meals, steaks. He's teaching you things. He's teaching, and he did provide. I've done videos on that. But I can think of multiple situations in my life that most people have not experienced. And at the time, it was not pleasant. But also at that time, there was kind of a block, to how bad my situation really was. And he always got me through one day at a time. I learned that lesson long ago. It's one day at a time. So if you can, be ready. I think it's going to get worse by the day. That's what I think. Because if the food stops coming in, how's it going to get to the grocery stores? It's not. You're very fortunate if you have property and you have a way to grow your own food, and if you even have livestock or any kind of farm animals. I know my brother does. He's got chickens and he's got pigs even. So, you're going to be better off than some people. But you are going to have scavengers too. That's just the reality. And I live in an apartment complex. They'll be going door to door. I know they will. So I'll be relying on the protection of the Holy Spirit there. These are the realities that we're dealing with. And as I look back over my life, He's been preparing me all the way along. He sees it all in one instant.